Yo, what's going on with y'all? It's your boy Hocus. We're back again with another video, and as you can see by the title, teaching you guys exactly how to send your beats, loops, starters, FLPs, whatever, how to send them out the most effectively. I'll be covering these Google extensions that you can use, how to make good subjects, and how to format your emails so people actually open them, how to collect your emails, how to add them in a list, all that stuff. Everything about sending your loops and sending your sounds out pretty much. A lot of people are asking me for a video on this, so I'm finally making a video on this. So if you have any video ideas for me, drop them down in the comments so I can work on them. If you haven't heard about it already, me and Genie are doing our placement mentorship program still. There's about 5 slots left, I believe. We just got a producer named @ProdByVoodoo on Instagram, a placement with Sofago and Osama-san, just from like a week after him joining the mentorship. We had like 2 weekly calls. We got guest speakers. Last week we had like a co-owner of BeatStars get on. We have a new feature called the placement generator, where every week you guys upload your beats, samples, all that stuff, and me and Genie sort through them and send them out to our like 2,000, 3,000 plus connects combined, and just grind to get you guys placements. Make sure to go hit the link in the description if you're interested in that. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Last thing I gotta show y'all boys before we get into the video. Can't show the full thing, but we got some shit dropping. Go follow @HocusClo, Hocus with a K, on Instagram to stay tuned for when we drop. I can't even talk too much on it, but just know we got some crazy stuff dropping. Yeah, let's get right into the video. First thing I want to talk about is creating a list, because you can't send out to anybody if you have nobody to send out to. You need a list, and what I like to use is Google Spreadsheets. You can use Excel as well. It's pretty much the same thing. Google Sheets is completely free. I'm gonna jump into my screen and show y'all exactly how I organize all my emails. All right, so once I've got some emails, I've hit up a bunch of people on Instagram, Genius, Artist Connect, whatever. I have other videos on how to get those emails. You can just go on my channel and see those. But once I've gotten the emails, this is exactly how I would organize it. I would have name, email, opportunities, and type of sounds. All right, so there would obviously be much more emails on this list. You would hopefully have like 100, 200, 300. I personally have like 500, 600 on my list. But why this is so good is you have the email, obviously an email to send to, and then you have the opportunities, so you know kind of who to send for, who they're working on for, how they can benefit you in a selfish way, I guess. And then type of sound, so you know what type of stuff to send them, because it's kind of like a turnoff if you send a producer who doesn't even make pain beats, pain melodies, or something that they just wouldn't use, because then it just shows like you don't even know who they are. You're just sending to them. It kind of makes you come off like a bot. I would say just put them into a list like this, stack up the emails. Every time you add an email from the beginning, add opportunities, type of sounds, name, so you have everything nice, organized. If you want to send to somebody individually, you can do that because you know their name, instead of just having a whack of emails, because that is kind of hard to send to individually, and it's just you're only sending in bulk. You don't even really know who you're sending. Next thing I want to talk about is literally my holy grail. It's called Gmass. This is what it is over here. What Gmass does pretty much, and it's very cheap. If you send to a bunch of emails, usually you send 2, put your email, and then you BCC it, which can make you send it to a whole bunch of people without them seeing who you sent it to. What this does is you just put it all in the to section, and it'll send to each of these people individually. So instead of sending it as one big group, you put it as one big group, only one email, and it will send 1,000, 500, however many emails you put in. It'll send it individually to each of them. This is super good because if you're trying to send out, you want to make it more personalized. You can even put their name, so it says loops for, and then that person of their email's name individually per person. So it makes it more personalized. Obviously, you're gonna get more open rates. More people use your loops equals more placements. So here's what it looks like. It's like just gmass.co. You can just add it to Gmail, pay for it. The prices are cheap too, I can show you. Prices are $18 a month. I recommend it so much. I've had this since I started making beats. Yeah, it's super great for sending out loops, beats, starters, FLPs, whatever you want to send out. It's perfect. Next thing we got is a mail tracker. If you're sending through Gmass, you'll be able to track your own stuff, but if you still decide to send BCC and you want to track your emails better, you can easily use this, add it to your Chrome, get a plan, use the free plan, and this will also let you send it individually, put people's nicknames. This just helps so you know who you're sending to, and the people who are opening your stuff more, you can focus more on them, target more to them. If you're sending to big producers, you know who's opening your stuff. When you're going through stories on your phone, you can look at whose story to look out for, because they might be using your loops, beats, etc. Yeah, this is just a super fire tool I recommend to all producers. I actually use Gmass. I don't even use this anymore, but yeah, they're both super fire. I would recommend Gmass. All right, now let's talk about email templates, the subject, the body of the email, how you can actually format it so people are actually going to open it and actually use your samples from this point, because you can't get a placement without them using your loops or beats or whatever. And this is kind of a process, right? So the Gmass helps you get it out, get past the Gmail barriers. Hopefully they see your email and they're more likely to see it if you use Gmass. And then now you got to have a good subject so they open it, and a good body so they actually use the loops. Don't get too confused or anything. It's pretty simple. It's just like a little bit of a process. Alright, so this right here is my email template. Very simple. My samples, date, and then a bunch of keywords I like to say. So I always put in the artist who I'm working for. So if they need Ian, Swappa, Lucky, whoever type of loops, they can just search that up. And then a lot of people search up dark loops, dark samples. Let's say they search up dark samples. Right here is dark, and right here is sample. So the keywords will automatically match. They search up my name because they want some of my loops. They can search that up. They search up any of the specific artists they happen to that the loops are in the style of. They'll be able to get this email when they search it up in email. Especially big producers who are getting like hundreds of loops a day. Like you can see my email over here. It's 2,700. I'm constantly just deleting loops because I'm just getting so many loops and like too many for me to even use. And then if we move on to the body, I usually change this little header every time I send out so it's not too repetitive, but new loops and vibes in here, gang. And then I'll say enjoy the loops. I have my name, my credits, my Instagram, my number, my BeatStars. So all of these people who I'm sending to can contact me if it got plays, if they need more info, if they need a contract, anything like that. And then over here, I just got all of my 2024 samples, all of my 2023 samples. How I made this text into a link is I just type Dropbox, let's say. You go like this, I just got a Mac, so it's weird to right click. Insert link, and then this is the text that they display, and you just type your link in and it'll make it just like that. Yeah, so this is what I do. My full pack, the Dropbox link, I'll drag and drop my Dropbox link into here where it says full pack. I'll add to the email 3 of the hardest loops from that pack. So let's say there's 10 loops in that full pack that I put in the Dropbox link. I'll attach 3 to this email itself, and then they'll also have all my 2024, all my 2023 if they need more stuff in the moment, which I feel like is super perfect for if they're in the studio, they use one loop, they want some more, the ones you sent them they're not feeling, they have literally hundreds of other ones to go through if they really just want to use yours. So that's really all it is for sending out the subject, the body. You guys don't got to overcomplicate it. You can even copy around my body, my subject, and then kind of add yours as you continue to work, as you continue to send out, as you kind of see what works for you. And also, how to not end up in spam is super huge. This isn't even a producing tip. This is just Gmail tip in general. Stay away from exclamation marks. Stay away from too much capitals because those will literally land you in spam because they look more spammy. Try to make your email look least spammy as possible. Like, would you open this email if you were another producer? If you were the owner of Gmail, would you ban this email because it looks like a spam? Think about things like that. If there's exclamation marks everywhere, use these loops, it's going to look like a scam. So Gmail is going to send it to the spam folder and no one's going to see it. It's never going to see the light of day. Loops could be the hardest. Everything else could be perfect. But if it goes to the spam, it's going to be very unlikely for people to see that. That's why I also send all my Dropbox links to the people who I'm sending out to. That's why it's important to have their name in the spreadsheet. You can even add their Instagram at. But don't do it too often so it doesn't get too spammy in their DM. Maybe like every other time you send out, just send it to their DM as well. And then what I do, because a lot of people ask me how often I send to people, how many loops do I send out, how many people do I send to? So I just send to everyone who I've gathered. So that's around 400, 500 people. I'll go through the email every now and then when there's emails that don't work, producers who I don't really send to anymore, producers just stop making beats. And I'll usually send around 5 to 7 loops. I feel like that's the sweet spot. Actually 4 to 7 I feel like is a sweet spot, so you're not burning yourself out sending shitty loops. You're actually making good stuff, and it's also not too much, so they have like a good variety. It's not too much where they're going to be having 15 different loops to choose from. It's not too little where there's only 2 loops. They don't like either of them, you're fucked. And then how often I send out. I would recommend all starting up producers to send as many as they can. T9C is a producer. He has songs with Drake, a whole bunch of people. He used to be in the top of my email every single time. And there was an interview with Murda Beats where he was talking about how he signed one of his producers. He just saw him because he was always in the top of his email because he sent out so consistently, right? Yeah, literally just send out I would recommend all new producers send out 3 times a week if you can. Right now, I only send out once or twice a week. If you could send out daily, I would recommend that. I would really, really recommend that, especially if you're just starting out and you can make that amount of loops that are good. If not, I think 3 to 2 times a week is like a nice sweet spot. That's where I'm at right now. But when I was starting out, I was sending every single day, just pushing my stuff out as much as possible. Another cool tip is this app called Artist Connect. It's free. You can get a free one, you get a paid one. You can literally go on there and send all these loops that you're sending out to your list to random people, Billboard producers. I have my email on there. You can literally send directly through the website. I'll put a link to sign up in the description. But you can literally send out to these producers, Billboard producers who are asking for loops. So you're literally supplying their needs need of people who need loops, because the people you're sending out to might not even use your loops. These are people who need loops. They're telling you the style, everything. So you can just go through that all day. Send this person loops, this person, this person, this person, this person, and they're all billboard producers. You don't even have to hit up or get their email. It's already there for you. It's amazing. But yeah, that's really my sending out schedule. Sending out shouldn't be complicated too much. It is a very important factor, but I feel like I kind of listed everything for you guys. Yeah, I really don't want you guys to overcomplicate it. Just send your stuff out, get it out. I would recommend using Artist Connect, getting Gmask, getting all those resources that I was talking about in the video. Yeah, I feel like that wraps it up. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the description. Go follow the Instagram at HocusCrazy to stay tuned with what I'm up to. Go check the description for a bunch of other cool stuff I leave down there. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Let's go.